It's the NFL on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the AFC North. It's the Bengals and the Browns, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 22.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now Burrow on first down. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Burrow on play action. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Burrow. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. The Bengals bring out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. Here's the Cleveland offense, and here's Baker Mayfield, former Heisman Trophy winner, ready to go at quarterback.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup. Threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Mayfield looks to throw. Open man is Denzel Mims. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Here's Mayfield. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a 1st down, but a big gain to boot.
From the 2, here's 1st and goal. Chubb. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuck from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Chubb again. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll give it to Chubb. And this time he is in. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns have taken the early lead.
First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 11 carries, 51 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working. And they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. Open man left side. It's the tight end, Tunyon. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. 6-0 our score after 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Here we go.
A handoff to Mixon, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Got a man, it's Tunyon. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow 1st down. Throw left side complete to Chase. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
I like the thought process. I like the design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close to the sideline, and they don't get the yards after the catch.
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Burrow looking to pass. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Myles Garrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
So here are the Browns to take over. They were losers to Kansas City a week ago, but they are out in front right now. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there, and right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. You know, following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
Cincinnati set to take over once again.
And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired.
And shutting him off, now open field. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw here into the hands of Boyd.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They'll run on first down. Mixon. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Burrow. And his throw here is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And the Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Burrow.
That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Here we go. Now it's Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. To the air again, Burrow. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown, Bengals.
T. Higgins.
His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bengals have taken the lead.
Evan McPherson for the extra point.
And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Well, the football going back over down to the Cleveland Browns.
And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake. things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. The throw over the middle, taken in.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play fake. Mayfield. And now this one may draw a penalty. He just blindly threw that one to the sideline. And yeah, indeed, the flag is out. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. To throw, Mayfield. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Here again comes Joe Burrow and the offense for the Bengals. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another, because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a 3rd and still about 12 to go. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30.
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter.
It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
A gain of 3, second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Well, that play really didn't fool them. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
Third and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. Throwing, Mayfield. He's going to rifle one deep left side.
And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
This is taken at the 15.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Burrow's throw complete here on target to Tunyon.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on 2nd down.
Burrow. This one complete to Tunyon underneath.
Let's go. I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit. And that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
1st down. Here's Burrow. Dumps it off to Mixon. Not much there, only a yard.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. From midfield now, Burrow. He completes it to Boyd.
And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Mixon able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop it right around the 1.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1. Mixon again. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. How about this Browns defense they've held so far? This is now 3rd and goal. Mixon trying to punch it in.
And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance, so that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
Heading out, it's the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return.
And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10.
At about the 32.
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
What's tight? Tight is right. What's tight? Tight is right. Go down. Check.
here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 53 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Browns have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the third. This time, the extra point up and good. And that will tie our game here in the third. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Joe Burrow and the Bengals set to go back on offense.
And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting a lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again, so maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. Trucks over him, and he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 13 all our score as we start quarter number 4. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. And now they will throw it with Burrow.
A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now Burrow. And that is incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter.
They begin this drive with Chubb. Room here to run. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
A run for Nick Chubb. Running right through him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
87 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Mayfield off the play fake. And this is going to be intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On first down, Mixon. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Second down and 7.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Throw right side into the hands of the tight end Sample. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds.
Well, you have to be aware defensively that you've got 2 goals because obviously you're trying to prevent the touchdown, but you're also trying to keep it from getting a first down as well. That time they weren't up to the task, and it's first and goal.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on first and goal. Burrow will throw.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Bengals have broken our tie as they take the lead.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And they will take a 7-point lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field.
And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. So that'll back him up 5. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Browns on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 11. Mayfield to throw it. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense.
And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. Breaks through the contact. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
65 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game.
Back to Mixon on first down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. On second down now. Mixon, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Chubb with a carry on first down. It's not going to yield much, maybe a yard. It's second down.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Here's 2nd and 9.
And again, it's Chubb. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here's Baker.
And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Mayfield.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Here's 2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw. He'll air this one out for Mims.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll give it to Chubb. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And no sweat. He puts it through. And we are tied here in the 4th. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play.
Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field.
They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that.
Here's Burrow. Pass complete. Tunyon
shreds him with a stiff arm. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's a give to Mixon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
First down, Bengals.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
So all eyes now locked on Evan McPherson.
This a long one from 54. It looks good, and it is good. From 54 yards away, he bangs it through. And the Bengals are going to get out of here with a dub.